All right. You hope I have fun with this game? I mean, I've played it in the past. All right, so we're taking a look at the most recent version of Ultima Ratio Regum, which I'm probably butchering the name of, which I've talked about for a long time. But before we dive in, I'm just going to show this real quick. We looked at version 8 when that came out, or point 0.8, I guess. But this is version 0.9. So Dr. Mark R. Johnson, who is a speaker at the university, or is a professor at the University of Sydney, makes this game in his spare time as a hobby. It generates a world, and the rough idea from like hearing him talk about it and reading about it, the idea of the game eventually will be to become a legendary figure in the world that you've generated's history, like that's and by doing so, you'll have to do some key things such as going around and trading and building up your own wealth and exploring and learning as much about the world as possible. So we're just going to jump into this blog post real quick and just have a peek at what is new in this version. How many times have I played this before? First version I played was 0.5, I think. I don't know. The first time I downloaded it was a while ago. I couldn't tell you how many times I played it. Not very much time put into it, though. Maybe like a couple dozen hours I've put into it over the years. To me, this game is more of a fascination or an oddity than a game that I play actively, if that makes any sense. Like, it's just, it's never quite been complete enough for me to really want to play it. Unlike Dwarf Fortress, where even though like there's a lot more to do, this game, like not the most recent version, but the one before it, not this version, but the one before it, version 7 of this, there was like nothing to do. There was no NPCs, for example. Like all you could do was walk around in your city and examine walls, basically. This game is also free, so you could just go download it, so you don't need to worry about buying this. Anyway, the last version that was out added in NPCs or put NPCs back in, so that you could like learn more about the generated cultures and the different images and the different characters in the world. But the problem that I had with the last version is it crashed so much that it was like unplayable. I had major crashing issues on the last version. So hopefully it'll be better with this one. I generated a world and it worked last night, and I fiddled around with it and I didn't get a crash. So we'll see. But he's added in item generation where you can generate items. They've also worked on other building generation stuff. And we have an actual usable inventory now, which is interesting. And rifles. And other various things. So lots of variety in generatable items now has been added. And as I scroll down, where was the actual like patch notes? There was a patch notes. I think this is what. Yeah. Okay. So they've got procedural coin generation, a vast range of trade goods. And other items will now generate. You can buy and sell items from merchants. You can ship items across to other civilizations in like long-term trade deals. Docks now contain a range of new information and options, which previously docks were like a way of fast traveling from one harbor to a harbor in another city, allegedly, but the game would just crash when I tried to do that before. The encyclopedia has been updated, which makes sense. And apparently updates to the game's speed and game's calculations, because the game had the same problem that Dwarf Fortress has, where if you're playing adventure mode and you go into a very complicated, busy area, it would slow the fuck down. So hopefully this fixes that. And then I haven't really gone through the smaller bits and pieces, but so that's the patch notes. If you'd like to have a look at those, here I'll just link those in the chat instead of just the blog post associated with it. But here's the game. Let's dive back in. So I'm just going to generate us a new world. And welcome to some Ultima Ratio Regum. It's in the roguelikes room. It's the second to most recent post. But yeah, this game has always just been kind of a weird curiosity to me. Not something that I've ever been able to actively play because there's never been enough gameplay here. But It is a fascinatingly weird game. Was that a goose? That was indeed the honk command that Pilot used. That is indeed a goose, yes. Or maybe it's a duck. It's actually kind of hard to tell. But Pilot used that. Also, hi, Pilot. How are you? You want to play some EDF later? But it's generating stuffs. But if you're curious and want a link to this game, it is in the roguelikes room on Discord, and it is this link right here. Right there. Not this, just this one right here. markrjohnsongames.com. All right, so generated a world, so now we have different save files in that world that we can have that don't really interact with each other. They're individual save files. We're going to load the first one. And then start new game. World 1. All right, so leadership, random. Religious, foreign. Trade. Select your preferred policies, and you can begin the game in the closest matching civilization. Trade, military, cultural, intellectual, or justice. I think trade seems interesting. Oh, I see. Okay, so we select our... Okay, so all of this is new. So I guess we select our policy to each, I guess, political take. So our leadership policy, very common, is representation. A nation ruled by an elected parliament with representations from across its lands, and a parliamentary building can be found in the capital's city center. And the homes of the delegates can be found in various locations. And politics in this nation is conducted via political parties. Okay, then there's, so depending on how rare these that I select are, that will depict which country I end up siding with. I think the previous version, I'm like racking my brain now, just let us select a society. So this is interesting. Like we select our character's ideology. Yeah, absolutely, Pilot. So we select our character's ideology, and from there move into that. Common. Okay, so it's the rarest one is stratocracy, which is the nation is ruled by a military elite, so military dictators. This high fantasy. I don't know what this game is because it has like muskets. It's like colonialism, but also fantasy, right? So there's like weird gods and magic and shit, but there's also like rifles and that kind of, and muskets and things and explosives. But like, it's not really a combat game. Like the way Mark R. Johnson talks about this game, he's like, combat is something that you would do once in a run, and it would be a big event to take out a specific person to be able to achieve a goal, and it's like it's like a last ditch thing. Like you are not. No, it's I don't think there's multiple races. It's just humans. Unless they've added in other races. It is very much like just humans. All based on like political intrigue and stuff, and influencing your nation via your influence as the character, I guess. A nation ruled by a monarch whose legitimacy is derived from history. As such, graveyards can be found outside cities and in towns, and these contain burial places of thousands of individuals and special areas for dead of high rank. That actually sounds... we should be a monarchy. That's interesting. Or in a monarchy. And the cities and also contain tombs, which often house noteworthy individuals and perhaps their secrets. I really like that. So let's go with monarchy. But what are the other options? Theocracy and random. Okay, let's go with a monarchy. And for religion, collective faith. Religious buildings can be found in towns throughout this nation, and religious belief has a focus on the family and the community. So for collective faith, organized faith, religious buildings appropriate to this nation can be found in middle class and lower class housing districts within the cities. Religious belief in this nation has a strong sense of hierarchy and ritual. Or we could have religious freedom, which is rare in this world. The first two are common. This is rare in this world. This nation places no restrictions on religious beliefs or its people. Okay. And then there's zealotry. I'm just going to read through the different options. I think we're just going to set religious to random, though. Religious buildings are appropriate to this nation, can be found throughout towns and city districts. More generally, this is a nation with a deep commitment to its religious beliefs, and also one that deploys inquisitors to seek out and expunge heresies of any kind. Also common in this world. Purge the heretics. And then monastic, which is monasteries. Monasteries can be found throughout the territory in this nation, but often not always in the wilderness. Often, but not always in the wilderness, far away from other settlements. Monasteries are repositories of various kinds of learning and often house items or relics or of significant value. And cultism, which is rare. Monastic are common. And cultism, religion in this state is separated into, this text is hard to read, many different cults that worship different sorts of deities and natural forces and locations and structures or animals. Many cult shrines will be openly worshipped throughout this state, but adherence to themselves will be part of a complex social networks or behaviors that may be well hidden, yet potentially house valuable secrets. All right, we'll just set religious to random for funsies. So for foreign, we have the option between isolationists, which are common. Oh, internationalists, which don't exist in this world. Interesting. Interventionalists, which are very common. A nation engages in extensive espionage activities. Excellent. Spies of this state might be found in other nations. This nation owns and controls a number of foreign colonies, imperialist, and various locations around the globe, also common. And then cartographers can be found in a marketplace, and these will sell maps. These are exploration. Ooh, that might be nice. Well, exploring maps showing you an outline of the distant lands. Also sometimes sell treasure maps with information. I kind of want to set that to exploration, just because that is common, and then random. So yeah, I think we'll go with exploration. That seems neat. And then trade. Ideology, free trade, barter, which is very rare, mercantilism. These nation guards wealth with jealousy, planned economy. Planned economy. Interesting. This is a nation that, and it costs money to enter some districts, and the more important and high district is, the more it will generally cost to enter. Protectionism. But planned economy is rare. Domestic goods are cheaper than normal in this nation, and merchants will offer a small discount when buying from them. And then slavery, of course. We'll just set trade to random, I think. Military, standing army, common. Vassalage, which is rare. Conscription, which is very common. Militia, which is common. And pacifism, which is rare. We'll just leave that one on random. Cultural hegemony. People from this nation are deeply proud of their heritage. Aesthetics. Jewelry and maps can be found in marketplaces depending on the nation. These might sell rings, necklaces, earrings, or gemstones, or some combination of thereof. Vanitic. Archery stores can be found in so hunters, okay. And contemplation. Philosophers. And populism, which is very rare. Like how philosophy is common, but populism is rare. Pastoral, also rare. I'll leave that 0. Scholarly, which is rare. Mechanical, which is common. All right, well, let's just... Frontier, which is common, interesting. Gladiatorial, which is rare. Vigilantism, which is rare. All right, we'll leave that on random. And then press enter. Forward. Welcome to the game. In this version 0.9.0, which is focused on trade goods and coinage, many procedurally generated items can now be found in the marketplaces of cities. Once you exit this message, pressing 1 or comma will allow you to examine people, items, and world features and terrain. Space shows you the world map, and T lets you explore and discover the world. Use E to see your encyclopedia, and docks allow you to fast travel. Pressing 0 will access the options menu. Pressing question mark or B will access the guidebook, and listing the controls and info about the game and other mechanics not listed here. Also, I did update it, but just making sure that I'm in the correct directory, chat. Thank you for playing, and please send any feedback you have. Please send in any feedback you have and press enter to dismiss this message. This game has a lot of options. And welcome to the game. This is Ultima Ratio Regum. So we can turn, can look around. And it appears that we are in the year 1700, 1st of January. It is daytime on the 1st of January. It is the end of winter in the year 1700. If we hit question mark, this is the guidebook that's built in. Seems like we have knowledge of kin of Warpinia? If that's what that means? Ooh, interesting. So these are our records of our world. This is where we are. We're in a place called Ground Syra, the capital of the kingdom of Aquadil? Known districts are the Castle District, City Center, Docks, Graveyard, Lower. Ooh, so we might, because we are a monarchy, right? So there is a graveyard, which means because this is a map of the generated city that we are right outside of right now. Docks, Graveyard, Lower Class Housing times 11, a market, a middle class housing, military district. There's a slum and an upper class district. I'm trying to spot that slum. I don't see the slum in here. Oh, I see. Slum's up top. Slum's up top on the outside. Interesting. Okay. If we go to civilizations, we have... Okay, so this is us, the Kingdom of Aquil, who's our foreign policies. So I'm assuming this is either where we're from, or this is just the place that we are living currently. Our policies are, foreign policy is exploratory, so they will sell us maps. They have a standing army, and we are a monarchy. I think we should venture down to that graveyard and take a peek at some of those gravestones, because that's new, I think. We have a planned economy, so I might have to pay to enter certain areas. Their intellectual policy is literary, so there are libraries. They're religious zealots, so I guess don't misbehave. They believe in aesthetics, which means rich people will wear diamonds and jewelry. And then gladiatorial. Yeah, it picks the one with the most options that you chose, the one that fits it best. King Luca? Is that really the name? Luca, yeah, King Luca, House of Olenak. I think that you might like this game, Stone, by the way. This is the sort of the game that you would be very interested in, I think. Currency is Iron Labyrinth. That is rad. Okay, so our currency is metal as fuck named. They have the towns of Dustchild, Loamfather, and Loamshire. Loamshire, I think is how you say that. Because it's not about combat, it's just weird. We are also familiar with the popedom of Otiug. We don't know a lot about them. We know nothing about their trade policy, intellectual policy, religious policy, cultural policy, or judicial policy. But we do know that they are interventionalists. They have a militia. They are a theocracy. And their Vensgrant is Hoyd House of Erpuff, advised by the Council of the Sacrosanct. And they have 2 other houses that are in charge, and very little is actually known about them. And their currency is called the Tin Tower. It also generates their flag, as you can see. So that's our flag. It's like an upside-down envelope. Don't ever tell them that. And then there's the Empire of Arafak, which has the Archgeneral Aura House of Harunina, with the foreign policy of interventionalist. They have a stratocracy, and they believe in free trade. Empire of fuck yeah, pretty much. So yeah, let's peek around a little bit. What's in our inventory? We are wearing an ornate robe. That's what our robe looks like. We have oopsies. Ornate boots on both of our feet. So we're wearing an ornate robe like that. And then for currencies, that's what our currency looks like. So this is what this game does that's interesting. It's like a knowledge generation journey where it generates a buttload of stuff and then it rewards you for discovering things. This game is sort of like if you were to take Dwarf Fortress Adventure Mode and Legends Mode and kind of cram them together into one and make the entire game about discovering the legends of Legends Mode. That's essentially what this game is trying to be from a Dwarf Fortress description perspective. This game is wild, and I love the concepts of it. So, also looks like we have no money. 0 money. This is the Iron Labyrinth, the currency of the Kingdom of Aquadil. You are carrying we have 71 of it. Okay, so we do have 71 money bucks. Well, that's good to know. You can generate a world in Legends invisible to you and try and discover it in adventure mode. Yeah, but I would almost argue that this game does some things better because it's not like handicapped by the fact that it's also supporting a fortress mode. Like, I would actually argue that it is to this game's advantage that it only does that. But yes. But this is an entire game designed around that. Whereas like Dwarf Fortress is trying to simulate everything. This is a lot more focused, I guess. But also completely different. This looks to be like some sort of church. Oh, that's not the button I want. This is the button I want. What is that? Creatures known, structures known, an ascending staircase. Ooh. And that's what the staircase looks like. That'll look different in other parts of the world. Let's see what this wall looks like. How come it's not letting me do that again? Where's the hotkeys button? These appear to be tables, I'm assuming. What was the other key to look? It was comma, which doesn't appear to be working now. This feels like some sort of like bunkhouse or something. Nobody in here though. Maybe time of day thing. How did I look at the picture? I've read the hotkey from the beginning of the thing. Oh, I pressed enter on the picture once I selected it. I selected it and then I pressed enter. Yeah, this is a future feature. Yeah, so all of these grayed out options are features that are not actually usable in the game. B. Okay, so question mark and B take me to the same place. What was the... Ah, I see. So comma, select the thing, and then to examine the table, I hit A. Or ornate flooring, which is a B. So that's the pattern for the flooring. That is the table. And I press escape to get out of that. I figured it out. I see what I'm doing wrong. That is bricks. I can look at the brick wall. And it'll change color based on the material. I can walk in here. And I can do this. There we go. I was hitting the wrong button. That's on me. There's another table and more ornate flooring. There's also what looks to be a door. It's an unlocked door, and that's what the door looks like. B brings up the guidebook, which brings up this. And apparently there's key bindings in this menu somewhere, but I'm not seeing them immediately. But these are all the different types of trees that are in the game. This is how trade works, which we can go through later. Time of day and weather. Religions and cults. Policies. NPC types. These are all of the different NPCs. This is all new, I think. I'm pretty sure that all of these NPCs were just all the same previously. They were just @ symbols previously, if I recall correctly. But non-player characters are represented by an alphabetical or numerical character with each with a color and their own skin tone. Interesting. Okay. Individuals and lowercase letters and numbers represent soldiers. Okay, so numbers are soldiers and non-soldiers are letters. Okay. And numbers represent soldiers in different classes. Looking at any NPC, like one or... okay, so one's also an option to look. That I might actually just use iHockey. With their fate will allow you to view whatever clothes they are wearing, necklaces or rings worn, weapons or shields wielded, and their health and status. You can also view their ranks and nicknames if known. Oh, there's the controls option. I see it now. Okay. That's, I'm actually just going to screenshot that and pop that up in a, on my second monitor, just for ease of access, because I need that. Cool. This game also doesn't have a wiki. So, it's one of those, strange... what's the word? Hobbyist roguelikes that's been in, development for a while. What am I tripping over? What are these? It's a chair. Yeah, and more ornate flooring. Hell, gap. No wiki. No wiki. Well, I mean, it's got a very small player base. Like, this game is basically like a roguelikes player's roguelike, Like, you have to be paying attention to a very specific portion of the internet to even know that this game exists. Which means you're watching this, so you're part of that portion of the internet. Congratulations. Yeah, like /r roguelike dev. If you read /r roguelike, or even just /r roguelikes, you'll probably find. Or be like me and like obsessively watch the roguelike celebration talks. Because this game is almost more of an art project than a video game. What that? It's a candle stand. Ooh. Tall candle. Another tall candle stand. Oh, I see why they're changing colors. It's because they're in a different room and I can't see them, but they're lights. I get it. Okay. Not all of the info, but maybe a bit of it. has to be like a temple or something. It's things like this. Why? Because I expose you to games that you didn't realize that you didn't care about? And then you can continue not caring about them? This runs so much better than previous version. Jeez. All right, so let's take a look. What's this road look like? Road. All right, so it's like a cobbled road. Okay. What about this? Sand. Ooh, I was wondering what that was. Okay. So we're like in a deserty area. And there's the water. What happens if I jump in the water? You do not yet know how to swim. Okay. Noted. I'll take that warning, game. There's a palm. Oh, palm trees. Okay. And then there's some people running around that I only just noticed. We have Indigo Giraffe Foot. This is Indigo, middle name Giraffe, last name Foot. That is Indigo Giraffe Foot. He has no known nickname. Or they have no known nickname. No helmet, no necklace. A poor robe, undamaged. No cloak. No known health situations or anything. They're wearing poor boots. And poor robes. You don't need a nickname when your actual name is Indigo Giraffe Foot? I mean, point made. I'm just moving my hotkey list elsewhere. Go. Hello, Indigo Giraffe Foot. What else do we have? Cobalt Kingfisher Feather. Also wearing poor robes. That's Yellow Zebra Leg. Imagine having the name Yellow Zebra Name. Yellow Zebra Leg. I am Yellow Zebra Leg. Left arm gauntlet. Right arm gauntlet. He's wearing a helmet. Right. Ooh. So currently, in Groundshire, we are... This is your home city, and you maintain a friendly relations with your home nation. Your movement in your capital will be free and unrestricted. Okay. We are currently in an upper class housing district, and you have not explored it on foot, but know its contents. Okay. So there's the Manor of House Alanak, Manor of House Olenek, and Manor of House Lacana, which is mine. So apparently I have a house here. Do we have a name? I wonder if I can examine myself. You. Ah! We are Yellow Scorpion Leg. Probably not the native language, I would assume. It's sort of like my name, the direct translation is Watchful. Which is ironic, but... But yeah, no, Fritzy is right. This game is about cool procedural generation of societies. Color, animal, body part. Yeah. Yeah. We have ornate robes, which means I feel like we are probably richer than a lot of these people. I wonder if this is my house, actually. Hold on. This might be my house. If we are in wealthy places. Into a manor house. This might just be my house, guys. Well, we found a fountain over here in the neighbor's house. Also a locked door. Another manor house. bigger house than mine. Let's just explore this city for a little bit. Zoom. I mean, we walked into the door even though the door was locked. Well, I also walked into this one. Interesting. I'm just going to kind of assume that that other one is my house. Because we started there, so that would be a logical assumption. We could also try talking to people. S is the speak button. So, I see. So you hit S and then you select whom you wish to speak with. All right, let's speak with... Okay, first off, let's have a peek at you. Talk to people? I mean, you're right. Well, technically, it's the best way to end 2021, Ragman Nomicon. Because this update came out on the last day of last year, not the first day of this year, but it was released, it was December 31st, the update dropped. Lilac Kingfisher Wing. You're wearing fine robes, meaning we can speak with you. Not that it really matters. All right, so this was the last update for this, which is the dialogue system. So I can give them a greeting, which I think seems... Let's do a polite greeting. Oh, hello. And upon you as well, what a superior day. Fond greetings from the bloodied and glorious arena of Aquidil. And they respond with... So we say, fond greetings from the bloodied and glorious arena of Aquidil. And they say, oh, hello. Upon you as well. What a superior day. What shall we speak with them about, chat? What do you think? Oh, I mean, it said the 31st on my end. Maybe it depends on time zone. Actually, he might have uploaded it on the 1st. Money? Speak about money. Why money? I'm trying to think, like, what do we not know? I guess money is a new thing, yeah? Like, add a word room? Kind of. What is your nation's currency? Who does your nation regularly trade with? Let's ask that. Who does your society commonly do business with? Well, we've not met in... we do not engage in much commerce, is what they say. Events. What local events are there? There are no local occasions. Well, have you any major events recently taken place nearby? Lately, have any consequential occasions taken place in the area approximate to? There have been no near recent occasions. All right, well, let's ask about religion. What religion do you worship? I believe in summer gathering. What doctoral group you adhere to? I believe in summer gathering. What is your holy book? Can you tell me the name of your holy book? My holy tome is the Epic of the Summer Gathering. Very creative. I like it. What is your most sacred relic? What is the most sacred artifact of your doctoral group? The most prized artifact of Summer Gathering is the greater key of the Golden Vulture Claw. The fonts look a bit weird. Yeah, it's because I've stretched it to a normal person resolution. It looks better if you put it in a square, but I like it a little bit stretched just for the sake of streaming. And otherwise it looks less weird. But yeah, the font does look a little weird. How widely spread? Oh, where is your cathedral? In what region can your cathedral be visited? The cathedral of my doctoral group is in Groundshire. Well, it's here, I guess. How widely spread is your religion? My religious group is solely followed in Aquidil. And How do you feel about about religious heresy? All sectarians should be slaughtered. Well, I that's that. We could ask what town we're in. I'm pretty sure I know what town we're in, but we're in Groundshire, I think. What towns are nearby? Do you know of any proximate to towns? And they say there are several. Dustchild is some ways from here to the southwest. Loamshire is near to the south. Loamfather is near to the north, or to the south. To the southeast, that's what the word said. And the Survival Crag is some way from here to the southeast. And we are in Groundshire. Bobtron, what up? We are a very small religion and we want to kill everybody else. Yeah, pretty much. Because we're in a city. What town are you fondest of? I think not much concerning towns, in truth. Let's ask about cities. Are there any famous buildings? Are there any consequential buildings near in your society's capital? What a strange inquiry to ask. I'm not sure somebody else. I'm sure somebody else will care concerning that fact. I'm just curious what a compliment reads like. Let's give them a mild compliment. You come across as a worthy servant of the monarch. That is generous of you. Who are your grandparents? I love how blunt the questions are. When were you born? So far, like, the most impressive thing about this version to me is that it doesn't lag. The last version I played was, or last like 3 versions even I played were so slow. It was painful. Where were you born? Whereabouts did you come into being? On the 10th of March, 28 years ago, I came into this dispersed world. Where were you born? In the city I still call home. To this day, Groundshire, I was born. What is your job? In what region are you working? I am but an ordinary citizen of the Kingdom of Aquadil who works as an architect. Interesting. How long have you been in this job? How long have you had this form of any work? That is not an inquiry I want to give a response. There is certainly other matters I would be happy to converse with about, however. Chat, what should we ask him about? What do you think? Any particular things we should ask this person about, or should we just say goodbye and keep exploring? Health? I don't think they're going to want to talk about that, but how is your health? My general health is extremely good. What condition is your health presently? I love the wording in this game. What condition is your health presently? We already spoke to them about religion. Their religion is small, and they want to murder everybody who doesn't believe in it. What do you do? Architect. How long? Fuck off. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, we should ask about jewelry. I mean, we can find that. Maybe art? What do you think of your culture's art? What is your sentiment concerning your society's artworks? My society's artworks are quite pleasing. What is the name of your most prized art? Let's see. The name of the most prized art is The Unending Desert. All right, well, that was our conversation with lilac kingfisher wing. I will say goodbye. Neutral farewell. I am forced to leave. May your writing be well, and to you. Dooba-dooba-doop. Yeah, being able to like hold down the button like this and let go of it, and the character not like flying for another 10 frames is really nice. And that is a new feature. It runs a lot better than previous versions, that's for sure. I kind of wish it was a little bit easier to see AI characters. Lilac, heron leg. The lilac, fine robes. This is just housing, basically. Uh-oh. So everybody has a very dark skin tone here. I guess probably because we live in the desert, right? I really would like to find or head down to that graveyard because I'm very curious about what those gravestones are like. So this takes us into the next region, yeah? Yeah, so this is like a teleporter that'll take us into the next zone. Of course, we could come back here because it is just an open world thingy. Ooh, smaller house. Smaller house. People in them. Same ornate floors. Not a lot of variety in wallpaper in here. Oh, there's a fountain inside. Interesting. Tables and chairs, probably the same ornate style. Oh, there's somebody in here. Hello. I just walked into your house. This is Azure Rhinoceros Flank. Flank? Man, and I thought we were poor off with the name like Leg. Do you think they ever told me to leg it in school? Want me to insult them? Say a polite greeting. Fond greetings from the bloodied and glorious arenas of Aquadil. Oh, good day. My thoughts are also with you. I would like you to... I would like you actually good day. I would like you an actually good day. Interesting grammar that this society has. I mean, imagine being named Rhinoceros Flank. Acutely, is that what that word says? It looks like actually to me, but this font is weird. I'll believe you. Let's ask him about art. What is your sentiment concerning your society's artworks? I adore the glittering artworks of society. What is the name of your most prized art? The name of my most prized art is Blue Tiger Mouth. Blue Tiger Mouth smiling. It's a blue tiger mouth smiling. Azure Rhinoceros Flank. It does sound like it sounds like a delicacy that you get arrested for. Smaller ones might stretch better. How do I swap that out? I've never messed around with multiple fonts for this game. People. Is there any noteworthy people that live here? Not anything of interesting proximate to here? Who leads your nation? I don't know. Okay. Options menu has the setting? I guess I'd have to leave to main menu, but the game does save, so. This is a 10 by 10 font. Could swap it to the 12 by 12 and then resize. Whoopsies. See if that stretches better. Is this a DOS game? Nope. This is a game that received an update the other day. That's that seems to work a little better. But no, this is a game that got a new version as of the 1st. V is almost completely invisible now, though. What do you guys think? Is that font better? It's a little better. I think it's a little better. Let's ask you about religion. This whole game is political commentary, so go nuts. Just remember, this game generates cultures based on ideologies, right? So it very frequently will generate problematic as fuck cultures. But that's part of the fun of this game, is exploring the weird cultures that it generates. So just like kind of leave your concerns at the door and just enjoy this game. Real world politics? Then why is that relevant to this game? Also, you're in my chat where we discuss politics all the time. What religion do you worship? I believe in the summer gathering. I'm curious about this. What do you think concerns blasphemy in your doctrinal group? Sectarians are a serious matter. The other guy said they all must die, so this guy's a little better. He says it's a serious matter instead of they must die. Okay, this is an improvement. This guy's a little bit more open to options than the other one. Just says they're a serious matter instead of like, murder them all! Where is your cathedral? The cathedral of my doctrinal group is in Groundshire. We'll say a polite goodbye. Farewell. Let's say a polite farewell. I apologize, but I have to depart. I bid you goodbye. And may your mighty rulers lead us into the future. And to you, absolutely the same. No, this is not a part of the Ultima franchise. Not related to the Ultima franchise. But if you'd like a link to this game, just... that's the patch notes. Also, this would probably, like, kill a DOS computer if you tried to run it. You know, it's a serious roguelike. I mean, it's not a combat roguelike. There is no combat in the game currently. It's all about trading and bartering for information right now. Although, ironically, the other game that I need to play currently is I have access to the beta of the release version of Soul Ash, which also has vision cones. Scarlet Vulture Beak. That is the coolest name we've seen yet. Hello, Scarlet Vulture Beak. You have no nickname. That is a great name, Scarlet Vulture Beak. Hello, Scarlet. Polite greeting. Sincere greetings from the bloodied and serious and glorious arenas of Aquadil. Oh, hello. My feelings are also to you on this fine day. What's real fun is when you say hello to somebody from a different culture and you're like, hello, glory to you from the violence and bloodied fields of my culture. They're like, the fuck you on about? Which I had happen the last time I tried this. This about half a decade ago. That seems about right. Yep. That seems about right. Yeah. I mean, I seem to recall the first time I heard about it was on a roguelike radio episode from like 2013 or something. So, like, the first time I heard about this was on roguelike radio, and it was a long time ago. Oh, hello, my feelings to you as well on this fine day. Let's ask about life. What happened to you during your title audit? What is your job? I am a servant in the service of... blank. Okay. How long have you been in this job? How long have you had this form of any work? 12 years. Yeet. You've been at work all day, Pog? Are you home now? Because that sucks. I hope that your closing manager does all right. What rings are you wearing? I'm wearing no rings. What necklace are you wearing? I'm wearing no necklace. Well, I mean, I could have just looked at you to see that, but are there any who leads your nation? Who leads your religion? Who do you owe fealty to? I presently owe alliance to the greatest household. To the greatest of households. Nobody of interest lives nearby, though. Huh. No, but you close. So now you don't have to stand outside and deal with peoples. Oh, what was there people outside just like trying to get in while you're not able to operate because your manager got sick? If that's the assumption, if that assumption is correct, that sucks. Sounds like a fucking rough day. If you'd like to shoot some bugs later, I think we're gonna be doing that in a bit. After we're done with this. What do you think of your culture's art? That is not a relevant inquiry, and I spend my time concerning other more vital matters. All right. Well, rude farewell. I am obliged to take my leave. And acutely same to you. I asked about art. He's like, I don't fucking care. Okay, fine. Fuck off then. Go away, weirdo. Okay. Peek around up top here. It's probably just more buildings, but. Ooh, mountains. Man, this is a large area. More fountains. Interesting. Didn't see a front door to this one. Oh, there it is. Huh. This game, I mean, it's free, so try it. If you're even remotely interested in this game, I recommend trying it. Just because, like I said, it's free. And this is purely a hobby project. There's no like financial incentive, to my knowledge. I think like the Mark Johnson is just planning to write a book about his experience making it at some point. Okay. Let's head into one of the poorer districts. So one over to the left. That's the military district. That's the scholarly bastion. Not explored it. It's the dockyard. Oh shit, it's a world map. So this is all of the areas that we are familiar with that are under our control. Interesting, okay. It's neat that it automatically zooms in. I don't remember it doing that before. Does it do that with the smaller towns? But yeah, these are the small towns. Town of Loamshire. Town of Loamfather. And I wonder if this is on my map because I asked them what was around. Might be the case. It's like 8 p.m. doors are closed. Man, that sucks, Hobo. Jeez. But hopefully we don't have to do too many ridiculously long days. Starting off the year in a blech way. Must be so much more difficult compared to just the game world because quests can break the game 20 hours in. Oh, absolutely. But like, you know, this game is, I don't know if this game's ever planned to have real quests. Everything that I've ever heard about this game, it's always been more of a, like, you just try and figure out the inner workings to then topple a specific thing. And become known in the history of the world, and then start a new character, and then become known in the history of that world, and then rinse and repeat.
Damn, I feel old.
After 1 year, you feel old? Really? Come on, noob. Get to it. See you in 5 years when you feel old. Thanks for the 12 months. Cheers, dude. Thanks for keeping this weird channel funded. All right, so this is like cheaper housing for sure. Ooh. So we were just in wealthy housing, right? This is cheaper. This is a cheap house. Oh, that's behind me, so I can't see it. It's a single bed instead of a fancy double bed. Simple table. And a simple chair. When did you become that? In the past 22 months, I would assume. Yeah, it's like my apartment. So this is like low income housing out here. I wonder what these houses are made of, because the ones in the rich district were made out of bricks. Okay, so they're still brick houses. They're just clusters of tiny brick houses. There's a lot of people out here. I'm still impressed by the fact that this game isn't lagging at all, because these more populated areas chugged before. This is Singapore or Hong Kong? Well, it's a desert. Like, all of the ground that you're seeing around is desert. Also, we're hitting the afternoon now. Hold on, let me just check how time works. Trees and plants. Time and weather. Ultima Regum features a full-time system, including a calendar which concludes years, months, and days, and changes in seasons and appropriate points in each year. And also a day and dusk and night and dawn cycle, which alters the colors of all of the terrain and buildings, and the sidebar displays the current date and also indicates the time of day, as below. Please. Is it a hot desert? It seems that way. You selected trade and the game just crashed? Yeah, it'd do that. Especially when there's new features. I would not, just to be warned, I would expect this game to crash. Like, I would expect crashes. It's not the most stable of games, but it's fine because it's free. Like, this isn't something that I would recommend spending money on if there was an option to. It's very much like a weird curiosity. All right, so we're like in midday. This is the lower class housing district, and you have not explored it on foot, but know its contents. Oh shit, there's a tavern in here? The Barrel and the Shield? Ooh, and the Abbey of the Summer of Gathering. All right, so we should poke around and see if we can find the Abbey. Or the tavern. Either or. Maybe both. I'm looking for interesting, bigger buildings. Oh, that might be it. That might be something. It's a large building. Ah, it's a religious altar. This is the altar of the Summer Gathering. All right. It's plain stone floors, very simple. Yeah, oh, absolutely. They do have engraved chairs. Okay, so slightly fancier. This game could really... Oh, it does have 2 doors. Okay. But you see, like, this is why this game's cool, is because, like, you can run around for a bit and immediately start to recognize, like, different buildings and buildings that stand out or maybe of some importance. Reliquary? Reliquary of sacred stone. Of sacred items. way that I can interact with it? There's an upstairs. Just full of tables and chairs. Little small room with more tables and chairs. Stairs back down. Okay. There's like a little balcony area. And kind of a, I guess, a back room for prayer. There's like a big chunk missing, though. Like, there's a bunch of unused space in this room. There's that unused space over there. Interesting. Oh, geez. Hold up. There's an orange fox. Oh, it's a person named Orange Fox Tongue. Who sit. Oh, I understand what I'm looking at. So it's people sitting in these chairs. You're wearing a poor robe. Oh, I can examine your poor robe. Interesting. Well, let's speak with Orange Foxtail. Or Orange Fox Tongue. There we go. Neutral greeting. Fine evening from all of the Royal Literary Society. Oh, hello. And to you, the same, my fellow. I think we should ask them about religion. Where is your cathedral? You're in it, bud. In what region can your cathedral be visited? The cathedral of my doctrine is in Groundshire. Well, we're in it. How do you feel about religious heresy? All sectarians should be slaughtered. Well, these guys seem friendly. Like, very friendly. Let's ask them about money. What is your nation's currency? That is not an inquiry I wish to give a response. That is not an inquiry. Okay, fine. What plants are local to your area? Our local plants are the dry bracken, the turf grass, and the jade flax. Does your nation venerate particular plants? That is not an inquiry that I care about. History. What do you know of your nation's history? That is not an inquiry I care about. Okay. Who leads your religion? You should speak to others concerning such things. All right. Well, insult, mild insult. You may be lacking in refinement. That's good. What a ridiculous comment. Well, you may as well be lacking in refinement. You are lacking in refinement. I must conclude our conversation, and to you. Goodbye, Orange Fox Tongue. Bah. All right, let's see if we can find that tavern. Doop 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 doop. Hey, chat. You want to know something? I don't think that you're lacking in refinement. I think Chad is very refined. It's a big building. Deceivingly big. Actually tiny. God, these are tiny little slums. These aren't even the slums. These are just poor housing. The slums are, like, outside of the city. Just like a rich kid just, like, wandering into the poor side of town for the first time. Meow. 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 All right. Still looking for that tavern. You very much am lacking in refinement. I don't know about that, pilot. Come on, give yourself some credit. I mean, this game's free, so why don't you just try this? This game's very easy to quit playing, though, because it has a tendency to crash. As neat as it is, it does have a tendency to crash. Ooh, sun's going down. Look at that. Day-night cycle. Neat. Wonder if I need to sleep. Oop, that's a biggish building. Maybe that's our tavern. Is that the tavern? People are going in. Hey, boys, we found the tavern. Excellent. Well, I can sit on a chair in the tavern. Polite greeting. Civil greetings from the bloodied and glorious arenas of Aquadil. Ah, hello. And to you the same, my fellow of Aquadil. Do we have an option to... Hey, hold on. I'm looking at the screen. I'm looking at my tiny little screenshot over here in the corner of stuff. But yeah, we found a tavern. Round of beers for the tavern, chat. You actually have downloaded this in the time you've been playing it? I'd be really curious to think what you think of it, Stone. I think that this would be your kind of thing, because it's really just a sandbox about exploring and talking to people and trading. At this point, that's all that this game is right now. Also, that's Jade Tigertooth. Much cooler name than... I feel bad for the person named Rhinoceros Flank. That name, man, that's a rough one. Jade Tigertooth. Much better than Rhinoceros Flank. Oh, interesting. Tavern drink. So because it's a tavern, so because this person works in the tavern, I can ask them specifically about the tavern up here. When was this tavern built? This inn was first built whereabouts? Whenabouts. Okay. This inn was first built whenabouts. Originally, my inn was first built just concerning 90 years ago. Okay. How long have you owned this tavern? How long has this inn been in possession by you? I have owned the lease for 2 years. What drinks do you serve? What brews are sold here? We serve here Veld Plum and Loamfather. I don't want to drink a drink with the word father in the title of it, so Veld Plum sounds good. Have you ever had any famous guests? Have visitors stayed here who are world famous? No famous visitors have ever stayed here. Oh, there's no options under drink. Sag. Drink? Nope. Oh shit, that's neat that you can search them though. Blah. You. Okay, so that is cool. That is cool. This is a very flexible little chat system. All right. Let's ask you about religion. What religion do you worship? I believe in the summer gathering. How do you feel about religious heresy? Sectarians are a serious matter. Well, at least Jaded Tigertooth here is not all about murder, people who don't believe. What noteworthy people live near here? Not anybody of interest lives in approximate to here. Who do you owe fealty to? Presently owe allegiance to the great household. I want to give him a compliment. Give him a middling compliment. You are one with a refined aesthetic sense and worthy of the monarch. That is commonly charitable, they say in response. and then we will give them a polite farewell. I'm afraid I have to depart. I now bid you goodbye, and may your mighty rulers lead us ever into the future. To you and the same. Gonna yoink. Jump down here. What's in here? Stat. Ooh, it's an ale barrel. The barrel of ale. Another barrel of ale. All right. I'm assuming the inn is up above, but I can't actually walk past him. Interesting. Meaning we need to go down one to be able to speak with the traders. Oh, shall we travel south? I don't think ale is in the game because that option was blank. I selected the drink under the options for speech and it was just empty, so. Okay, so we are now in the market district. I don't really know what you do for sleep. Oh, there's also a view self button. Also, policies and laws might be interesting. This is interesting. So we're gladiatorial. We believe in aesthetics, zealotry, and all that. I love like the antsy art in this game. This is a really big city. Oh yeah. No, I mean this is we started here and we traveled down here. There's also the city center, which is to the right of us, which contains the proper cathedral, a guild full of sellswords and of the sellswords of the bleeding water, a memorial, a gallery, which we should go to. Training ground, an embassy. You know what? Actually, let's run over there. Do that first. Dragon Man keeping that sum alive for 25th month. Welcome back.
Surprise.
Cheers, man. Jack, can I get a round of beers for Dragon Man keeping that sub alive? These all have little question marks. They're shop signs. Ah, so I'd assume that that is a gem shop. I don't know what that means, but it's a something shop. Well, we found the market. Flea Market Montgomery, open for duty. Books. Yellow Kingfisher Wing. So I can ask them about trade. This is a book of low quality binding entitled End of Laughter. They have a book of low quality binding entitled The Apostates from Barrel Zebra Head. This is a good one. This is a book of high quality binding entitled The Blasphemy of Yellow Rhinoceros Flank. Did we not run into Yellow Rhinoceros Flank? I'm pretty sure we did. Huh. Interesting. That person has a book on blasphemy. So, you know, back in the day, quick history lesson, chat. Back in the day, there were papers and annals. Or was it Azure Rhinoceros Frank? Okay, you are correct. I think you are correct. But probably a relative to Azure Rhinoceros Flank. Probably a relative. But back in the day, they used to like write whole books on blasphemies on different religions and specific rich individuals in certain towns and pass them around and sell them to try and like profane people. It was just like Twitter, but really, 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 really slow. Like, you know how Twitter is just like people running around just like insulting each other back and forth? Well, back in the day, they used to write papers and short books about how they hated each other. So, you know, we're exactly the same back then as we were in the future, or as we are now, except we just like are better at it and more efficient at it. So I'm gonna buy this book because it's got a cool eye on it. And I selected it. Buy. Oh, okay, hold on. I selected it. Oh, hey, it's the book of Elon Musk. Entitled The Insane Scientist. Interesting. We should also get that. Although rocket ships don't seem to be that strange. Entitled The Frenzied Inventor. The Warrior of Groundshire. All right, well, we are spending... let's not spend too much. Let's just buy the black... Well, let's buy the book of low-quality binding titled that. Now, how do I buy it? I can select it. Oh, shit. Oh, never mind. I misread. Purchase spending. Oh, I see. So we scroll down to purchase. The Insane Scientist, low quality. All right, so we now own it. Meaning, I now have a book. I wonder if I can read it. I doubt it. We have inquired a low-quality book entitled The Insane Scientist, which we bought for what? 16 iron labyrinths? 16 books in a book? It's not I wouldn't call it a game. Calling this a game is like, well, I mean, it's as much a game as like any weird roguelike art project. But it got an update yesterday or 2 days ago. So in the last 72 hours, it got an update. So drop sign. Eventually, yeah. Well, I mean, every update it gets more playable. They just so the last major update added in NPCs and speaking to people and fast travel. This one has added in trading and trade goods and randomly generated trade goods, which is how I just bought a book. There's still no combat in the game, and all I can do is look at the book or sell the book to somebody else. But that's it. I can also now examine my clothing. I think that all of, like, currency is new. Like, all of the, like, I can examine my clothing. I'm wearing ornate robes. And I have 2 ornate boots on. Like, this is all new. So, I mean, it's a neat thing to fuck around with, regardless of how developed it is or not, but... Yeah, no, I mean, if you're interested, like, try out this version, because it's certainly... Every update that releases for this game, it gets slightly more playable. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, that's very much my experience, too. Looked into it years ago, kind of forgot that it existed, and then every now and again, I look at the roguelike subreddit or the roguelike dev subreddit, and it's like, oh, it got updated. And it's like, okay, cool, time to check it out again. But I'm basically going to fiddle with it until it crashes, and then... Or until I've kind of poked around at some of the new stuff, and then... So this is the fancy district? I guess this is probably the temple. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know what I just walked into, but I just walked into something. Also, the sounds in the background are definitely just my noise machines. It's not the game. What is this place? Okay, so this is like the temple of this religion. I mean, I don't know how much of a game in the traditional sense this game will ever become, but it's a fascinating society generator as is. So, and as somebody who likes weird society generators and games that are way too ambitious, this game intrigues the ever-living hell out of me. So those little H's are people sitting on chairs right there. So it seems to be like a lot of people hanging around studying. And then there's little rooms with altars in them, which are the purple things. So chairs, ornate chairs. And Lilac Vulture Wing is sitting here. Yeah, I mean, this game is an art project, right? So its playability is optional. Lilac Heroine Tail. Ooh, you're wearing religious vestments. Hold up. The medium quality necklace so they're wearing a necklace which is depicting a geometric pattern. That is their religious garb. Yeah, I mean, it's different goals, I think, right? I mean, this is a hobby project. Dwarf Fortress is somebody's life's work. Like, this is like a side project that the good doctor's doing for fun, from what I can tell. I don't know. At some point, I'd love to talk to him about this game. What? I'm sure he'd be down too. Although I don't know if he'd want to talk to old funky YouTuber about the crap that I get into, but maybe one day. A medium quality ring made from steel. It depicts a religious symbol. Okay. 9 boots. I mean, like, imagine if they, like, implemented theft into this game. The amount of shit you could do just pickpocketing people. Like, as soon as they give the player agency over things in this game, like, I mean, so for anybody who hasn't seen this game in ages, this is the, like, help guide. All the grayed out features are not in the games. All of these are features that are in the games. We got civilizations, city districts, buildings, clothes. Those are your controls, conversations. Currency and coins, which are new. Jewelry, which is new. Language. Different languages, which just read like different dialects, but if you can't understand them, it just gives you gibberish. Maps and cartography. NPCs, which weren't in the game the first time I tried this. Policies. Religions and cults. Ships and sailing, which is like your fast travel. Time and weather. Trade, which is new. Trees and plants, which are not new. But the planned things are wildlife, the underground areas, traveling from area to area without using fast travel, quests, or the quest, shields, scrolls, resources, paintings and statues, notes, melee weapons, law and criminals, keys, doors, and locks, because currently locked doors you can just walk through, right? Mysteries and histories, graphics and symbols, firearms, combat, which isn't in the game, bows and crossbows, books, and armor. But you can find books, they are just not readable. Because I have a book. Which is called The Insane Scientist, and it looks like that. So, honestly, like, if you have any interest in this game, just download it and fuddle around with it. Like, it'll crash, it'll break, it's missing, like, direction. It has no direction, it has no end goal, it has very little in the way that could make it, could be considered a video game in the traditional sense, but it is a fascinating world generator. That lets you explore it more than a lot of games. All right. Well, let's peek around a little bit more. What's this? It says a sign out front. The Sellswords of Bleeding Water. Okay, so this is a guild. Learn a little bit about the Sellswords of Bleeding Water. Maybe this is the local militia? Add books or writings to books? What, in this game? I have no idea. Although, apparently this game runs in Python, so there's that. It's dark in here. To just be kind of like maybe a dungeon or something? Ah, there's somebody we can speak with. I'd like to speak with your manager. Ooh, I could ask them to recruit me. Greetings, polite greeting. Sincere greetings from the bloodied and glorious arenas of Aquadil. Ah, well, hello. And the same to you. I would like you acutely good evening. I like the word acutely. See Caves of Cud, for example. Are you... Oh, wow, I can recruit them? I am in pursuit of any work as a mercenary. How much do you charge? I will charge 4 iron labyrinth per month. Man, that was an expensive book I just bought. What are your conditions? I have no specific preferences. What experience do you have? What experience of doing individual battle do you have? I have taken many contracts in various nations, and I have been a mercenary for 5 years. I don't know if I can actually hire him, but that's neat. Have you ever played Caves of Cutanander? Because it has procedurally generated books. They're nonsensical word vomit. Like, the Discord word stories make more sense. Book some luxury words them in... Fair enough. Staring at the hotkeys. Holy shit, that's a long one. I haven't clicked on ideology. What are the military policies of your nation? We are defended by a well-equipped standing infantry. Well, I will bid ye farewell. Neutral farewell. I must head in other places. May your writing be well. Scoot to Chard! Thank you very much for chucking out a 5-pack. Cheers, man. Thanks a ton. And thanks for the coffee early. Jack, can I get a big round of beers and thank you? The 5-pack that was just chucked out. As we poke around in Ultima Regum. As we poke around. All right, well, we found the Mercenaries Guild for this city. Once again, this is the city that we're in. And if I move the mouse outside, this is my known regions. These are some other towns. And they're all owned by our faction, and that is our flag over on the right. The upside-down letter. There is... Oh! There's a farm over here that is ruled by the Popedom of Ultilig. We should try and get down there. See if we can go visit the Popedom. The Popedom. They poped him open. That was a terrible joke. Anyway. It's almost 10. Getting late in the day. Alrighty, Anander. Cheers. What's this? Crimson Kingfisher Feather. Who's armed? You're a guard. The Royal Bank of Aquadil. Oh. Hey. It's a bank. Wonder if they have a vault. You've never heard of this game before? This is a game that it's completely understandable that you've never heard of it. Because it is a game that you've heard of if you hide in very specific portions of game dev internet. This is a game by Mark R. Johnson, Dr. Mark R. Johnson, who is a speaker in the University of Sydney and a professor. I think he recently moved there. I'm not sure where he was living before, but he moved there in the past like 2 years. And this is his hobby project. This game gets an update maybe once a year, maybe. It's an extremely ambitious society simulator and generator. It currently has no combat, but the most recent update implemented economy, items, and item generation and trading. So, for example, if I hit space, this is the city that we're in. If I move this out, this is the area that we're in. The world is procedurally generated. It generates factions. I'm trying to remember what the knowledge hotkey is. Hold up. E, encyclopedia. So if I go to civilizations, this is the list of known civilizations plus the list of unknown civilizations that are in this world. There's cults in this world that are all unknown to me. I am familiar with one city, which is the city that we are in currently. I'm familiar with a few different families. It's not really a game of combat. The idea kind of behind the generation of this game is like, if this game ever gets finished, the way he's described it in podcasts and in other places and on his blog is it's kind of like a world that's generated, and the idea is to become an important person in the history of that world by going through and affecting the world in a way that the game asks you to. So by basically playing the role of the character that you are generated into in that world, and either helping or hindering your faction. Yeah, so there are family crests, flags, cities that are all procedurally generated. Like, I've been playing this now for, I don't know, an hour and a half, and we haven't left this city. We started up here, which is where my house is, and then we worked our way down here, and we're now in the fancy district. This is the city center, I think. It's the city bastion. That's the dockyard where we could fast travel to other cities if we know that they exist. And then outside of the city is the slums. Yeah, it's a really weird, cool game, and it's completely free. So just go download it. Makes you think of Warsim. I mean, kind of. But yes, there is a slum. We need to go to the slum. Yeah, I mean, it's a free traditional roguelike that the dev develops as a hobby and puts out updates occasionally, and it's always one that I will jump into the second I have an option, or as soon as I. So, but whenever updates pop up for this, I will always check it out. Although, I will say, this seems significantly less crashy than the last time I played. The last time I played was when he put NPCs back in, because there was no NPCs in the game for a very long time. We'll put it that way. And there was NPCs, and then he took them out and he put them back after a while. So the NPCs are very hard to see. That little H on the road that's right here, this is an NPC. NPCs are governed by so the capital A is an ambassador, B is a blacksmith. So what is an H then? K's are monks. Capital H is unknown. Capital U is unknown. Or maybe there isn't one right now. Numbers are soldiers. Gs are gladiators. And what am I seeing? Vs are servants. Okay, so there's lots of servants running around. Looks like a lowercase h. Yeah, so this game's been around for a decade then. Do NPCs do things? They all have jobs, and they all so they'll all have routes. So like a shopkeeper will go to their house at night and sleep in their bed, and then in the morning they will wake up and go back to their shop. Are they really doing much besides that? No, but they do have like a place that they go during the day and a place that they go during the night. Generic human-shaped human. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I mean, like, I can examine them. So this person who's right here is Azure Heroine Wing. They're wearing a fine robe. I can press enter to examine their fine robe. They don't have any jewelry on. And they're wearing white boots. Last Argument of Kings? Yeah, that checks out. It is, like, everything about this game is kind of incredible, and basically nobody's heard of it. But, you know, that's also, like, kind of comes with the territory of traditional roguelikes, right? There's a lot of really fucking cool roguelikes out there that nobody's heard of, and that's kind of what makes them special, in my opinion. So, you know, that kind of is what is cool about them. is that there's so many of them, and they're almost all free. So, like, I don't know. Check it out. If you're even remotely interested, just download it and give it a spin. I mean, you might just hate it. You might just hate it. Well, it's so this is the guidebook. All of the lit up white features are features that are in the game currently. All of the grayed out, I've talked about this a couple times. All of the grayed out features are not. So armor's not in the game and not functional. Books are, it might be in the game, but it's not functional, right? So books are in the game, but they're not functional. They have no function. They're in the game, but they have no function. But like, buildings are in the game, and buildings for each faction are made out of different materials and look different. Cities and different districts for each city is in the game. Civilizations and the way they're generated is in the game. Generated clothing's in the game. That's just your controls. Conversations are in the game, which was the last major patch. Currency is in the game, which is this patch. Jewelry is in the game, which is this patch. Language is in the game, and functions. And there are certain languages that if you can't speak it, then you can't speak it and you're fucked. There are maps and cartographers, so you can buy maps from people, or you could go find areas and theoretically build your own at some point. NPCs are obviously in the map. Political policies and ideologies. Religions and cults, ships and sailing, time and weather, trade, and plants are like all features that are in the game currently. And that list has grown since I stumbled upon this for the first time, and like, you know, it was something like 2012 when ish, I swear, around that era. I could tell you when I first found it because I was listening to Roguelike Radio when I found it, and I listened to the episode when it came out. Give me a second, and I can actually tell you when I found it the first time. I have to go to the Roguelike Radio archives. Ultima. I was wrong. October 2015. Episode 96 of Roguelike Radio is how I discovered this game. Episode 96 of Roguelike Radio. Great podcast. Rest in peace. Miss it. What am I walking on? What is that? Stone. Oh, there's like stone patterns on the ground. Fascinating. What is this? There's the back door to the Royal Bank. I'm sure next update will be 0.10.0. I'm sure like this game shares a lot in common with DF, aside from the fact that it is very much a hobby instead of a full-time gig. Right. Yeah, we're already in there. The other side. That is the church. There's the bottom exit for the church. Getting dark out, jeez. The game might offer me the opportunity to sleep at night. I'm not entirely... You know what? Just for RP reasons, it's nighttime. We're going to go back home. You know, just to show people who only just tuned in the scale of this game. Following that human. God, this runs so much better than the last time I played. Bump. So if I wasn't in good standing in this faction, I would have to pay a toll to go from area to area because of the way their economy works. All right, so now we go right. Yeah, we seem to be a wealthy individual. I mean, remember the size of our house, Stone? I mean, come on. Go this way. And I'm pretty sure this was our house down here. I'm assuming this is our house. And the reason I'm assuming this is our house is because this is where we spawn. So this is our house. We have many tables, not many servants. We do have an upstairs. Just full of candles. Actually, what is that over here? Is that a table? Oh, it's a single bed. So that's our bed. I'm assuming this is our bedroom. Doesn't seem to be a way to sleep. Although maybe it doesn't matter. Oh, you mean under time and weather down here? Or was there an option up there that said time? All characters other than that of the player have schedules, which determine when and where they move around the game world from day to day. For example, a guard that might spend time asleep in their home before traveling to the location they guard, relieving a colleague of that of their duty and taking over the work of protecting that place. Most characters have regular and reliable schedules, although others, such as gladiators or sailors, are likely to lead far less predictable lives. You're home now? Welcome home, hobo. Welcome home. So does that mean do you want to shoot some bugs in like 30 minutes? What do you think? But chat, do you guys want us to play more of this? Because I think like the interesting way to play this game is to just generate new worlds on repeat. This seems to be playable enough. Like the only thing I haven't tried doing in this current version is fast traveling, which traditionally crashed the game instantly. But I would probably generate a new world to play again, because this is just me taking a peek at this version of the game, and I'm kind of going to call this a first look. Let's see if we can fast travel. Let's try that. Let's try and fast travel. If I can like book a boat to take me somewhere and the game doesn't crash, that will be awesome, because I've never managed to fast travel without the game crashing. Actually, let's just run to the slums. Let's just go to the slums. So I'm sure the slums will be active at night. Where are we at now? We moved up a zone. Well, let's just head straight down, actually. But the fact that this game doesn't lag like crazy moving around is lovely. Like when I lift my finger off the button, it stops moving instantly. Previously, it would like the character would slide kind of like in adventure mode when you're in a really busy part of town. You know how like the game will just kind of slide and just keep kind of skidding along even though you've lifted your finger off the button. This game used to do that really badly. So it seems like he's put a lot of time into optimizing stuff. What's this? The fuck? The gate. Oh. Oh. Interesting. Nope. Nope. Oh, is this the No, we're in the middle class housing districts. We actually popped in here once previously. We're just kind of in the wrong spot. Let's run this way. So these are middle class housing. Ah, there's the gate. This is an area that we've already been in. This is the city center where the bank is and all the fancy things. I'd rather not do that right now. Stupid, no offense. I'll do that later. Remind me in like 30 minutes. Find the exit here. Where am I? An interesting looking building. Oh, it's a temple. Interesting. Oh, okay. So we need to go over to the right to leave. Okay. We are in the entrance area in the lower class housing. Middle class housing? This sign? So slums. You are at the gates of Groundshire. Entering this city is free of cost. Exchange currency, buy food, water, and supplies. I'm assuming these are not active features yet because I can't select them. Proceed. Also, let's just check a thing. I don't see anything about food. Just sand outside. So we are just in a big-ass desert. So there is Z levels here, if you are quick at noticing. We are moving up and down Z levels. Currently running around the gate on the outside of the city. But yeah, no, this game has kind of achieved the same level of open worldness as adventure mode, which is kind of insane. Close to that slums. Following the outer wall. And the outer wall actually matches the shape of the city from the inside. So if you go on the inside, you can actually follow the inside of this wall. And now that I'm done, I will read the thing for... Gotta get caught up. Understanding these bees is being quite benevolent. Captive audiences are not skittish or sneaky. Dog's best technique is sneak food through cuteness. Once the horns have risen, boil the vilest potato possible. I'm don't know how to pronounce that word, so I'll look up how to pronounce it later and just add a word. All right. So now we are in the slums. What's this? Corn. Oh. Farming. Okay, so we are in a farm next to the slums right now. This is a farm just outside of town. What is that? Grapes. Okay. Look at that lovely art. I love the style of this game. This game possibly has my favorite style for a roguelike, that like ASCII roguelike next to Caves of Cud. Like if this game could like mix in a fucking baller soundtrack with this game would have an incredible atmosphere. I think that all of the ASCII art or all of the ANSI/ASCII art in this game is gorgeous. So we've got corn, grapes, and carrots. Okay. Corn, grapes, and carrots. Also, holy shit, these are big fields. Oh, house. Hut. Home, please. Thing. Farmer. And they are asleep. Well, I mean, was a surprise. It is in the middle of the night. We're almost at 4 o'clock in the morning. All societies start with farms? Yeah, but still, I've never seen farms in this game before, so. Like, just look at the size of the... Alright, well, let's hold the button to go this direction. This is true. Business must be booming. So, these are the slums. Oh. This is the graveyard. Hold on a second. So then where are the slums? Oh, the slums are in the other direction. Oh, I mixed the graveyard up with the slums. Oh, well, we can read some gravestones for a little bit. Damn. A lot of them. Laphap. 1264. Badly damaged headstone. Konnek. 1533. Kind of wish that they'd give us a little bit more information, but... Aquatus. Interesting. Okay, well, whoopsies. We just need to backtrack a little bit. They don't follow the local naming conventions? I mean, they're significantly older. Aqua Lac. I mean, maybe it is the local naming conventions, just in their natural tongue. Nada Quinak. Slain defending the realm. You know, like, when we... What's the hotkey to look at that? I guess I could just do. Like, when I look at myself, my name is Yellow Scorpion Leg, right? Scorpion Leg. Yellow Scorpion Leg is my name. But that's not the name of my family. Although now that I'm thinking about this, I'm not sure which one is my family. Manor of House Lakenna is us. So maybe Lakenna is my last name, so perhaps, like, interesting. Perhaps. I'm thinking that, like, maybe we're seeing the translated names, whereas those are the names in the native tongue. But I could be wrong. Yellow scorpion leg Lakenna? Yeah, maybe. All right, it's almost 5 a.m. And of course, lighting changes as the sun comes up. All right, well, we just need to kind of run around the perimeter of the wall. If we go up and around, we're going to hit ocean, so that's bad, so go this way. Doop 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 doop. Oh, see, sun's coming up. Doop 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 doop. I saw Belliner play a little bit of that squug. All right. We're going to the S on the map. I would ask Belliner, not me. I don't know. Do not know. It's got some bangers. All right, well, there you go. Doop 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 doop. Ba ba da ba ba da boop. Ba da da ba be da beep ba be da ba da boop ba be da ba ba da ba doop ba be da boop ba da ba da ba ba da ba. Yeah, that's a real good question. Does it have mash? Ooh, where are we now? Some trees over. Oh, I guess because we're getting closer to the water. Oh, there's another farm here, actually. More grapes, more carrots. Zoom. And as we move north, we shall check out the slums of the city. 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 To anybody else who's been messing around with this, it is now daytime. To anybody else who's messing around, has anybody encountered any crashes aside from the one that was reported about raiding? I'm just curious if anybody else is running into constant crashing. This is the slum. Oh my god. They're even smaller homes outside the city. Very cramped back here. Oh, there's somebody. Well, obviously, I'm going to give them a blunt greeting. Greetings from my royal society. Good day. And back to you, my friend. When were you born? On the 10th of August, 44 years ago. I came into this dispersed world. Where were you born? In the slum. I still call my home, and to this day I was born. People don't really move around a lot here, do they? Where did you grow up? I was young in a big city. Okay, so was young in the city. What is your job? What is the reign in which you are working? I am just an ordinary citizen of the kingdom of Aquadil who works as unemployed. How long have you been in your job? For almost 26 years. Oh boy. I am very sorry, Crimson Vulture Beak. This is quite slum. This slum is quite slummy, yes. Dream job. I live as unemployed for 26 years. Who works as unemployed? Who doesn't want to work as unemployed? As somebody who works as unemployed, seems to be working for me. Also, how you doing, Tone? Are you gonna check this out at all, or is this too aimless for you? I know you like games that are like beatable instead of just like, yo, it's sandbox. What happened during your childhood? Nothing of interest? Where do you live? I live in this slum. Well, money. Let's ask them. Actually, let's ask them about religion. What religion do you worship? That is not a relevant inquiry. Okay, so I suppose that you don't feel that heretics need to be slaughtered at the stake. Well, okay, so probably got a better like outlook on life than me. History. What do you know of your nation's history? I know little of such things. Alrighty. How is your health? In general, my health is good. Have you been ill recently? I've not been ill lately. Do any identified sickness profilate this locale? I know of no sickness in this area. The insults are really... Should I insult him? The insults are pretty funny. The last one was very amusing, so let's give him a stronger insult. You are unworthy to serve the monarch and lacking in refinement. They really like to tell people that they're lacking in refinement. How uncalled for. Nay, you may well be unworthy to serve the monarch. Mild insult. You seem to be unworthy to serve the monarch, and you need to cease speaking that. Severe insult. Ugh, the kind like you not never step outside your own borders to the world beyond. That's enough. Goodbye. That's funny. I just want to like generate many worlds in this game to play in many kingdoms just to try out all the insults. But probably hasn't worked ever. I'll bet you child labor's a thing. But probably just like exists. Oops, I just walked into somebody's house by mistake. Probably just exists in this slum as much as you can, you know? But never had formal employment, I would assume. And I've worked for like 30 years. I mean, I'm 27 and I feel like I've worked for like 30 years. 10 years of night shift will do a number to your ability to brain. Uh-oh. I'm lost. This is a very labyrinthine slum, all right? This game would do really well to have a auto explore option. So the very poor people have 2 chairs, a table, and a bed. And the slums just have a bed. This one doesn't even... Oh, that does have a bed. Simple bed. Little more than a mattress and a wooden underlay. Well, I mean, not too bad. Clippy voice. So the poor can't afford chairs? Yep. They can't afford beds, though. With a mattress. And mattresses ain't cheap, as somebody who bought a new bed last year. Mattresses ain't cheap. God, this area is huge. You got to go, Yuma? Cheers. I hope that you enjoy messing around in this game time to time. All right. Whoop. Just trying to figure out how to get through this zone. Ah, there we go. There's the ocean. And I can't swim. Oh, hey, we found the edge of the slums. Fascinating. Or New Year's or whatever. I mean, that makes sense. Go get some sleep, you know. The VODs of interest will be posted online, and tomorrow's my day off, so I won't be streaming, but we'll be on the day after. Interesting. Well, let's see if we can make fast traveling work. Because that was the thing that I had the most trouble with the last time. This has been significantly more successful than the last time I just tried streaming this. The last time we took a look at this on stream, the game crashed, I don't know, like maybe well, I need to go back and rewatch the VOD that I have up on my YouTube channel, but it was like 4 or 5 times the game crashed in pretty quick succession too. So let's head up to the docks. I guess eventually you'll have to buy supplies to go out on adventures. So I can kind of imagine what the game loop for this would be. It would be kind of you go around in town, bartering and speaking with people and learning about your location and city, maybe find a job or do some menial tasks for people to make some money, and eventually earn enough money to then travel to the neighboring towns and then expand outward and build up kind of a network of knowledge. I could absolutely see where the gameplay loop could be in this at some point. Oh, that's totally fine. I mean, you don't need to be an effective bug killer unless you want to. So this used to always crash. So these are all the locations that we can go to. The sailors of this ship are active in their religious faith and will charge a slightly higher prices for passage for those of other religions. This ship is known to be unusually strict with its physical discipline, so this applies to its passengers who might transgress with the rules, and the sailors of this ship are known to be acquiescive and will charge. Okay. So it costs us 27 monies to travel. You leave the scorching desert city to visit another within a temperate highland location. The city of Groundshire, known for the cathedral of the Summer of Gathering, shrinks behind you, and the sailors around you are mostly of the kingdom of Aquiel, and you overhear them talking about the likely weather on this journey, and the treasure supposedly buried on distant islands. And your fellow passengers are artists and famous gladiators from your departing port, alongside priests and engineers from abroad, returning from their homeland. You get some rest and you are sailed to your destination, and you do not see much of interest outside the ship for the rest of the journey. And now we are in our arrival location. Holy shit, this game's a lot more stable than it was the last time I played. So we are now in the nation of Aprajiv, and you are a foreigner in this nation, and your movement in the capital will be free and unrestricted. They use the Lapis Shield as currency. Okay, so I could... We've jumped into the market district. Let's see if we can sell that book. All right, so now we are in a temperate area. Everything is made up of a different material. Well, it's still bricks, just a different color of bricks. We're going to take a peek at a person. This is I proc struck because we don't speak the language, so we don't know the meanings of any of their names. This person has a poor necklace on and a poor shirt and is wearing a skirt. Okay. Nice haircut. So now we could begin the process again and speak with this person. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that there's a limit to the distance that you can speak. Yellow scorpion leg and apoposestutir. Greetings. Trusting greetings from the blood-led glorious arenas of Aquadil. Oh, hello, and welcome and back to you upon this day. Yeah, we can communicate. That's just their name, and or maybe that I don't know. Interesting. Let's ask about people. Are there any noteworthy people that live here? Nobody of interest of intrigue lives close to here. Who leads your nation? You should speak to others about such things. Religion. What religion do you worship? We are zealots, so I feel like it's normal for us to ask that. What is the doctoral group you adhere to? I differ to the teachings of the divine of the moon. What are your holy books? I do not would like to give a response to that question. There are definitely alternative matters I would be happy to talk to you about, however. I will give them a polite farewell. Sadly, I am forced to take my leave. I now bid you goodbye. And they say, do take care, and may you go to home of God upon earth, nation of Aperture. Interesting. I just want to see if I can sell my book and how much I can sell it for. I am looking for a bookseller because I have a book. But yeah, this game is really cool now. And it was cool before. It is cooler now. What kind of book are we trying to sell? It is a book called, it is a low quality binding, and it is entitled The Insane Scientist, and it has a picture of a rocket ship on it. That's the book that I'm trying to sell. It's Elon Musk's personal biography. Some shops. That's probably an armor shop. Or a glove shop, I don't know. Ooh, metal casting, I guess? Mining. They seem very industry focused. It's gotta be a pawnbroker somewhere around here, you're right. You know what? That's the vampire shop, clearly. Clothing, maybe? Okay. So they sell armors. Okay, so I could sell my robes in exchange for their armors or clothing. Ooh. That's interesting. Guess male armor and lady armor. I respect that this game, what's the word I'm looking for here? Doesn't take the MMORPG approach to gendered armors. You know, it doesn't take the like less is more approach. I appreciate that. Let's see if I can. So okay, so I guess for you, I can only sell you clothing, which is what I'm wearing. They don't seem to have a bookshop. Nope. No anime armor. Yeah. Yeah. No anime armor. No bikini armor. Yeah. Ooh, what's this? That one. Ooh. Ah. Okay. Interesting. So, um, how do I? Okay. So, oh wow, my currency is worthless here. One iron labyrinth is so 4 iron labyrinths is 1 lapis shield. So their currency is much more valuable than mine. Ooh. All right, chat. We need to play more of this. This has been my first real glance at this. I think we'll do a full day of this on Saturday. How does that work for you guys? I I think that we're gonna need to do a full day of this on Saturday. We'll generate a fresh world for that, and we'll do a fresh run through and make a day of it. I don't know if I'll do too much more than that, but I think we'll come back to this. I've been streaming for 9.5 hours. I want to play an hour of when bugs attack. So if some people would like to play some EDF, we'll be doing that. But I think that that's enough of a look into that little world. And I just want to do a real quick round of applause because it didn't crash once. Holy shit. Wonder if you can do investing schemes get rich. I wonder. I'm curious. Like, just, you know, it's funny actually that Soul Ash is another game that I need to take a look at right now. Because Soul Ash is the developer of that game talked about how he almost made a trading roguelike where the whole point of the game was to go from place to place to place and just buy and sell and trade items to become rich. And if this game is just that right now, I could put a lot of time into that because that's really cool. That's really cool. So yeah, I will be playing more of this. That is really neat. But yeah, definitely check this game out if you're even remotely interested in it. Like I said, it's free. Yeah. All right, I put a marker in the chat so I know where to cut the VOD, and I can now eat. And boop, that's my face. Let's get some EDF up and running. Does anybody want to play some EDF? Earth Defense Force 5. Because we're going to probably just be grinding levels. Close this, close this. If you're piecing out now, I get it. EDF is very different, but it's just basically anime fireworks, the video game. So